What's up? Welcome back everyone. Welcome back to another video, and today we are actually back at Option Motorsport, and M4 is going for some track prep. See back here? That beautiful gold, that's Ohlins. We're going to start out today with some Ohlins road and track suspension for the M4. Hopefully it will help the M4 corner better, provide more stability and high speeds, and most importantly, give it way more support in the corners, minimizing body roll. Like, these stock front springs are around 3 times stronger than the OEM stock springs. And the rears are like 1.7 times stronger. So in theory, it should be way less body roll. In the corners, more stability. You should feel the road better. And just like 20 clicks of adjustment. So hopefully the car will feel better. That's pretty much it. I'm just praying. This is my first coilover test, so I don't know what coilover is supposed to feel like versus stock. So hopefully the car will perform better on track, and we'll test it out in NJMP Thunderbolt in a few days. Not only are we fixing like the body roll handling issue of the car on track to support such a heavy vehicle, we have to handle my body roll and my handling on track, because as you can know, I have stock comfort seats, and those seats do not hold you on track. You going extreme corners, I'm forced to either spread my legs apart or hold the center console all coordinated with one hand just to keep myself upright. So right here you can see that we're also putting on some bucket seats, Sparco EVO Ls, because you know your boy got thick thighs, so we gotta go with the L size. But they're relatively comfortable, and hopefully will hold me in better than stock seats. And we're back. We did have autocross yesterday, testing out the Ohlins. Fitting with suspension, we're tuning it a little bit just to see how it's like. Since we did leave the shop 10 in the front, 10 in the rear in terms of the damper settings. But it was definitely soft, but we tried like 4.7 on track on autocross, and it was definitely very bumpy, and they're very oversteery. The front understeer, but the rear oversteer. It's super weird, but because yesterday when we tested out autocross, it was relatively bumpy, like parking lot. So we're back at New Jersey Motorsport Park Thunderbolt, and we're gonna test it on track. We're gonna start with 6.8 and move on from there and see how it feels. Hopefully it feels smoother with less body roll and feel more in control. Yes. I personally don't know how it feels on track, so we'll see.
Okay, and I think I'm pretty much done for today. Went through like 5 sessions. There's still one more, but I think I'm gonna sit that one out. The car was great today. It's a learning experience. It's getting to a point where it's not the car slow, it's I'm holding back the car a lot. Like we started out today, the car's a little stiff, it's rear happy, which is honestly a first. Like before, with stock suspension, at least I felt like the car was understeery, then oversteery. Like the rear has so much grip and then no grip. But now, the car is becoming more predictable, I like to say. That's the only way I could really describe it. Like the oversteeriness is consistent. It's not understeery, oversteery, just straight up oversteery. At least that was the earlier session. The car is much more controllable. You could feel when it's about to lose grip. Which made you kind of have to relearn the car a little bit, but I do have to like stiffen up the rears a little bit. The front stayed at 6 and the rear I moved up to like 12. Which 12 was good. I thought 12 was good. Very predictable grip, less oversteery for sure. My previous best at Thunderbolt was a 132 something. But that was with stock car, stock suspension, stock wheel and tire actually. But today we have bucket seats. Oh, bucket seats, one of the best upgrades. Like having to just not worry about whether or not you'll fall out the seat. Like it sounds like it's not a big deal, but it's actually like life changing, or not life changing, like game changing once you get into it. But suspension and going to RE-71RSs, absolute game changer. We didn't get as much of a boost as we did when I ran Lightning. I'm comparing like, you know, a few events of experience under my belt versus when it was my first event. So obviously it's expected, you know, 5 seconds makes sense. But today we went from a 132 to a 129. 3 seconds. It's 3 seconds, but I'm glad. Today my goal was just to hit the 120 somethings. So 129, I'll take it. And the next one we're coming right back here in like 2 weeks. So with this a little bit of experience under the belt and feeling the limits of grip I now have to play with, hopefully next session I'll be able to push it just to hit that extra 1 second. Because, you know, we're at the point where every second is just exponentially harder to get compared to, like, you know, when you're in the 30s. Everything you could like gain so much time, and just by changing your line, you don't even need to really push the car. Just change better lines, you'll get into the low 30s. But the big thing is, what's holding me back, I feel like, is I just get scared. At the limit, for the first 3 sessions of the day, I was stuck at 130. And the problem with 130 is that, like, the car wants to go faster. I just keep trailing too much in. And I guess it's also rear happy because I trail so much in. I trail brake a lot into the corner, and as a result, the car becomes very like tail happy. I spun out like 1 or 2 times. I think it's because I spun out once. Like luckily I didn't hit the wall. I just spun out in a circle and then caught myself on the grass. Safely went back on track. Because of that, I feel like I got scared. I'm scared every time I hit the corner, and the rear becomes a little unstable. I get scared to, like, you know, push it any further, when all I needed to do is pretty much just brake earlier, don't trail it in as much, hit the turn, trust the car, and then when I feel the grip, gas it. Like that's what I did that's the little change I did to hit the 129, but of course I'm not consistent enough with it. If I was consistent enough that I could consistently hit 129 versus the consistent 130s I did for like the past few sessions and the multiple laps, just consistent 130s. It's not like that mental wall. It's not even a car problem, it's just a mental wall. I'm also a little bit scared to push it anymore because not sure if you can see over there. It's not really not that like the front is alright. It's probably like 2/3 wear, but I'm more concerned with the rears. The rears, I'm not sure if you can see well. I'm not sure if you can see rail, but the rears are like pretty much gone. And of course, I drove this car. I didn't trailer this car here to NJMP, so kind of want to get back the same way I got here. So, and let's be honest, we're not really fighting for trophies. It's just me versus my previous self. So there's no reason to risk too much here. But I think overall, just like a big summarization of the day. Big improvements of the car. It's also a big mental improvement on myself. I think that's like the biggest thing. Improve myself every day, especially on the track. Don't let some past trauma scare me. I'm definitely still not brave enough to do traction control fully off. Not at that point. MDM mode has been really helpful. At least it gives, even if like, you know, it doesn't do much, I don't know, but it gives me the peace of mind knowing that there's like a little security blanket there to protect me in case, you know, stuff actually goes south. Ohlins road and track, pretty good. I still get a little bit of body roll. Like you could hear, like while making tight turns, especially in Thunderbolt, you hear this part of the front splitter just scraping the ground. So there's still definitely a significant amount of body roll, but I feel like a lot less, at least more controllable than it was before. Maybe the next move may be like H&R or IBOC anti-roll bars, sway bars. But I don't know, I feel like maybe some body roll in this case, at least I felt like today it wasn't like the previous stock suspension where the body roll so much that I felt like I'm losing a little control. It's just a huge mass flying side to side. For me, the body roll was definitely the car was still controllable even going through all the body roll. So I guess improvement. Or I could just be major coping with myself and trying to justify the new suspension. Who knows? The bucket seats allow me to feel way more of the road than the coilovers did. Like obviously I got them installed in both times, and then the first feeling of them were, wow, it's so raw. Like you feel so much of the road, you feel every little bump, albeit it feels more raw, but you feel like you're more in control. These seats, not only are they way lighter than the stock comfort seats, I'm willing to bet they're probably way lighter than the stock carbon buckets as well, even though these are just fiberglass. You sit about as low as you can get compared to the comfort seats. You feel way more of the bumps. You could feel exactly when the car is about to step out. Stuff that's normally being, I guess, masked by the comfort seats that I have. When I was on track and I was talking about, oh wow, like the coilovers made me feel, I feel so much with the car, I feel so connected to the car. Honestly, I feel like 50, 60, 70% of it's probably due to these bucket seats rather than actual coilovers. Like yes, the coilovers are good. It helps put the car into a more balanced slash a little bit oversteery state, which is easier to control for me. But in terms of just feel and knowing when to like apply the throttle, when like the car stepping out, all thanks to these. The bucket seats. Although that being said, these are like really tight, and you know, your boy got them big thighs, so they really keep me locked in. And even with the 3-point seatbelt, the stock seatbelts work perfectly fine. Problem is the car, it's my daily. The car's my daily, and I really don't like getting into these way too often, especially when they're in my proper seating position, and my steering wheel is usually all the way out. So the only way for me to get in is to like literally slide my butt in and then just fall in like that. And you know, it gets old after a while, it definitely does. So, and since I only track maybe twice a month autocross on the weekends, it's not that bad to put in. It's just 4 bolts in each corner, slide right in, disconnect the seatbelt and the wire harness, 1 clip with a harness, 4 bolts, and 5 bolts because you want to string the seatbelt through the seatbelt hole right here. You want to, at least if you want to do it properly, you should probably go through here. So that's 5 bolts. 5 bolts and a harness. It's not too bad to do. I think that's what I'm going to do from now on. If you're starting on track and you don't want to like spend too much on a set of coilovers, bucket seats are probably a way better investment, along with like camber plates and tires. Only going back into the comfort of these stock seats can I properly compare the coilovers and, you know, these Ohlins road and track versus the stock dampers and suspension. Yes, the stock definitely gets more comfortable on the road, without a doubt. Like in comfort, you'll glide right through some of the bumps. Sport Plus, there is a little bit of difference. I feel like Sport, Comfort, there's really not too much of a difference. Sport Plus, everything gets it still dampens a lot of the small bumps, but then it's either there's a very high like peaks for any big craters, anything like that. While for these Ohlins, you feel all the little bumps. You still feel it, but everything is like a smooth dampen. And then if you get any like large potholes, like it smooths out this ramping, is how the only way I can like describe it on road. While the OEM dampers, I feel like, just my personal opinion, it smooths everything out, but any big potholes I can't handle, and you just feel the jolt, right? While the Ohlins smooth, you feel everything, but everything's smoothed out. I don't know, depends on what you like. I feel like I can see why people wouldn't like it. It's just too much bumps for like daily use. I definitely miss being able to electronically control the dampening, and I feel like I haven't, since this is my first set of coilovers, like I don't know, like, oh, is this judderness I'm feeling? Like, is that good? Is that bad? I don't know. There's really no baseline, and I feel like the only way for me to know is just to constantly play with it as I go on, do more track days, do more autocross. But instead of just soft, medium, and hard, it's nice to have, you know, realistically 19 steps or 18 steps of adjustment, because 0 and 1 are like too stiff to actually be usable. Ohlins recommends step 2 to step 20 in terms of the adjustment, but realistically I think anything past 12 is like too soft for the car. Like, the car is heavy, so you do need some stiffened suspension to support it properly. Like on the ride home, we were on 10-10, so that's like the stock configuration in terms of stiffness, 10 in front, 10 in rear. Front was fine, honestly, just because of like the significantly stiffer spring in the front. 10 in the front is fine, but in the rears, it's only like it's like 0.70% stiffer in the rear or something like that. We are at 10 and we go into big bumps, and you feel the car oscillating and bouncing significantly over bumps. So I think 10 is like too soft for the road. Or maybe that bump was just crazy, because I only experienced it once, but it was like memorable. I think on track, I like it a little bit softer. Like I said, 12 in the rear, maybe just to help with it stepping out too often, give it some squat a little on acceleration. Maybe that's just because my first time driving, I don't know how to drive it, and maybe it'll be better, who knows. So I did manage to code the seats using Pro Tools this time. It's nice to play around with all these different tools, but you could do it with Bimmer Utility. Not sure you could do it with Bimmer Code. So, but I know Pro Tools you definitely can, and it's really nice. You can save like profiles, like do a backup. So I have like a backup of with OEM, with bucket seats, and with bucket seat with a seatbelt. Because fun fact, if you don't connect the seatbelt, you lose cruise control and traffic jam assistant, all that features. So, and when you're driving like 2.5 hours to the track like I am from Long Island to like New Jersey Motorsport Park, it's kind of nice to have cruise control. So if you guys want to see a video on how I do my race seat coating, let me know down in the comments. I'll definitely try to make a video on that one. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know if you guys like track content, or do you guys like, I don't know, my best performing videos are like my coding videos. So if you guys like those technical coding videos, let me know. If you guys want me to keep making track content with the M4, also let me know. Maybe autocross interests you. If you have any questions, DM me on Instagram and Sneaks Media. Let me know. And thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.